I should not be here, yet I walk among them as if I belong, in the heart of ancient Rome, a city that breathes power, ambition, and destiny. The streets are alive with voices, merchants calling out their goods, citizens debating politics, and soldiers moving with discipline through the crowds. This is not just a city. This is the center of the world, the beating heart of an empire that stretches across continents. Rome is not ruled by a king, at least not in name, but by a complex system known as the Republic. Power here is shared between elected officials, senators, and magistrates, each competing for influence and control. The Senate, composed of Rome's elite, holds enormous authority, guiding decisions that shape the future of millions. But beneath this system lies tension, because power in Rome is never truly shared, it is fought for. I walk toward the Roman Forum, the political and social center of the city, where decisions are made and reputations are built or destroyed. Here, men speak not just to be heard, but to dominate, to persuade, to control the minds of the people. Oratory is power in Rome, and those who master it can rise higher than any army. Among these voices, one name echoes louder than the rest: Julius Caesar. He is not yet a king, but he is something more dangerous, a man who understands both the people and power itself. Born into a noble family, Caesar rises through intelligence, charisma, and an unbreakable ambition that sets him apart from others. He knows how to speak, how to lead, and most importantly, how to win loyalty. Rome values strength, and Caesar proves himself not just in politics, but on the battlefield. He leads campaigns across Gaul, a region that today we know as modern France, expanding Rome's territory and bringing immense wealth back to the Republic. His victories are not just military successes, they are statements, proof that he is a force Rome cannot ignore. But success brings attention, and attention brings fear. The Senate begins to see him not as a hero, but as a threat. Because in Rome, a man who becomes too powerful becomes dangerous. I hear whispers as I move through the crowd, quiet conversations between men who watch Caesar carefully. They speak of ambition, of control, of what might happen if one man gains too much influence. The Republic is built to prevent kings, but history has shown that power always finds a way to concentrate. Caesar returns to Rome not just as a general, but as a symbol. The people love him, the soldiers are loyal to him, and that combination alone is enough to make the Senate uneasy. Tension grows as political alliances shift. Caesar forms what is known as the First Triumvirate, a powerful alliance with Pompey and Crassus, two of the most influential men in Rome. Together, they control much of the political landscape, bending the Republic to their will. But alliances in Rome are fragile. Crassus dies, Pompey turns against Caesar, and the balance of power begins to collapse. The Senate, fearing Caesar's influence, orders him to disband his army and return to Rome as a private citizen. It is a command that would strip him of power, of protection, and possibly of his life. I stand near the Rubicon River, watching as Caesar faces a decision that will change history forever. To cross this river with his army is to declare war on Rome itself. To turn back is to lose everything he has built. He pauses, knowing the weight of this moment. Then he speaks words that will echo through time. The die is cast. He crosses. Civil war begins. Rome turns against itself as Caesar marches forward, facing Pompey and the forces loyal to the Senate. Battles are fought across the Republic, and one by one, Caesar emerges victorious. Pompey is defeated, the Senate is weakened, and Caesar becomes the most powerful man in Rome. But power in Rome always comes at a cost. Caesar is declared dictator, first temporarily, then for longer periods, and eventually dictator for life. This is a title that sends shockwaves through the Republic. Because Rome does not accept kings, and yet, Caesar now holds more power than any king ever could. Reforms begin to reshape Rome. He reorganizes the calendar, creating what we now recognize as the Julian calendar. He improves infrastructure, supports the poor, and centralizes authority in ways that make the state more efficient. To many, he is a visionary. To others, he is a tyrant. I walk through the streets and feel the shift. There is admiration, but also fear. Because when one man rises this high, others begin to wonder what will happen next. In the shadows of Rome, a group begins to form. Senators, once powerful, now feel pushed aside, their influence diminished by Caesar's dominance. They do not see themselves as villains. They see themselves as defenders of the Republic. Among them is Brutus, a man close to Caesar, a man he trusts. But trust in Rome is a fragile thing. The plan is simple yet deadly. They will strike where Caesar feels safest. Inside the Senate, I stand near the theater of Pompey on the Ides of March 15, 44 BC. The air feels heavy, as if Rome itself knows what is about to happen. Caesar arrives, unaware of what waits for him. He takes his place, and then it begins. One man approaches, then another, and suddenly the room erupts into chaos. Blades flash, voices shout, and Caesar is surrounded. He fights for a moment, shocked, confused, betrayed, and then he sees Brutus. In that instant, everything changes. The man who conquered armies falls not to enemies, but to those he trusted. Caesar collapses, and with him, something else falls as well. The Republic will never be the same. The conspirators believed they were saving Rome, but instead, they opened the door to even greater chaos. Civil war returns. Power struggles intensify, and eventually the Republic will fall, giving rise to the Roman Empire. I walk away from the Senate, knowing what comes next, knowing that Caesar's death was not the end, but the beginning of something even larger. Because history does not move in straight lines. It shifts, it breaks, it transforms. And here in Rome, I have just witnessed one of its most powerful turning points. This was not just the life and death of Julius Caesar. This was the moment the Republic began to fall, and an empire began to rise. Fire,